Alright, welcome back to another Mech Lab Monday. This is going to be the first of the playthrough start Mech Lab Mondays, and I decided that rather than having an additional mech to choose from and to modify, I would go with the soldier start. This is the Aurigan start. Whenever you start the new campaign, you can choose the starting affiliation, starting planet, whatever. And I chose Aurigan, so this should be pretty vanilla mechs. And I chose the soldier background for this first one to get a random assortment of equipment and to partially demonstrate why it's bad. So you see here, this is the loot box after progressing one day. And the soldier start, I got a single double heatsink. So unless I have a double heatsink kit, that's useless. I have an SRM6 streak with absolutely no ammo for it, so that's useless. I did get a binary laser, which is interesting. I got SRM ammo, both a double bin tandem ammo and LK. So I got an SRM6, that works. I got ammo for it, so I can use it. I got ammo for Rack 5, Ultra Autocannon 2, and AC-10, but I did not get a... Oh, I did get a Rack 5, actually. But, yeah, there's several weapon systems that, like the LBX-5, I have no ammo for. A Hypervelocity Autocannon 5, I have no ammo for. So it's hit or miss with Soldier Start, whether you have stuff you can actually use, or if it's just stuff taking up space until you get ammo for it, or get a weapon that corresponds with the ammo. But, like I said, this is the Aurigan start, so it's pretty vanilla to begin with, and now we just have other potential weapons we can use. So, let's go ahead and get into it. And after that confirms, we jump over to the mech bay to see what we have.
Pretty great, right?
Alright, so we start with a Shadowhawk, a Spider, a Dervish, a Panther, and a Wolfhound. Now let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what we've got that we're working with. The Shadowhawk is obviously our heaviest mech here, so we're definitely going to be using it. But right now, in its current configuration, it has an SRM2, an AC-5, an LRM-5, and a medium laser. So it's a little bit all over the place and not great. Its quirk is the Battle Fists, so if we have a Mechwarrior in it that has some piloting, we could potentially punch. Then the second 55-tonner that we have is the Dervish here. And with the Dervish, we have a pair of LRM-10s, a pair of SRM-2s, and a pair of medium lasers. So, once again, it's a little bit all over the place. It has the hyper-extending actuators with the plus 30% firing arc. So, obviously, being one of the two medium mechs we have, we're definitely using the Dervish. The Spider is our lightest mech at 30 tons. And it has 2 medium lasers in the center torso, and the only other hardpoints it has are 2 support hardpoints, 1 on each arm. So this is probably going to be the most likely that we drop. It does have the nimble quirk, which allows it to shoot then move, but if all you have is 2 energy weapons, I mean, then again, if we can slot the... There's no way on a 30-ton mech for us to get a 9-ton weapon in. Yeah, we're probably dropping the Spider. So then we have the Wolfhound. The Wolfhounds have the great quirk, Accurate Weapon Energy. So +1 accuracy and -5% heat generated by energy weapons, which is really nice. This one actually comes with advanced zoom and an IFF jammer, as well as a double heatsink kit. Reflective coating, which increases your resistance to energy-based attacks by 30% and decreases ballistic and missile by 10%. As well as an XL engine and Indo. So that's pretty good. It has a built-in proto-laser AMS, which is okay. A pair of ER mediums, an ER large, and a medium X pulse, along with a Guardian ECM. So this is an interesting build. We're going to tweak a little bit to improve, but that's where we're at right there. Then we have the Panther. And the Panther has a PPC and an SRM4. But it has the aerial assault quirk, which is 10% jump attack damage, which we will never use early game because if we try to death from above, our Mechwarriors will more than likely fall to the ground. So this is a very limited use. However, it is a 35 tonner, so that makes it more appealing than the Spider. Now, the first thing to look at is the Spider, since it's the mech we're just not going to really be using. Does it have anything worth taking? The 240 core is interesting, and if we need a bigger core for one of our other mechs, we might rip that out. But other than that, it's just 2 medium lasers, a bunch of jump jets, and a single heatsink. So we're probably not even going to store it. We're probably just going to leave it sitting there for now. So we will go ahead and begin by, let's see, which one are we going to, I think we're going to modify the Dervish first. Or, would we rather have the double heatsink kit on the Wolfhound or the Dervish? Because the Wolfhound does have the plus accuracy from energy weapons. So having better cooling means we can bring better energy weapons. And I'm thinking of the binary laser, actually. So if we can drum up 9 tons, for 48 heat, we'll do 75 damage. It does have weapon fall off and weapon variation, but it also has plus 50% crit chance, and 75 damage, even if it's only at 420 meters, is definitely good. But how would we get it? Yeah, like, we would have to drop the large and the mediums, and yeah, that's not going to happen. Binary laser is just too heavy for us to use at this point in time. Having a single 9-ton weapon system this early in the game is less than ideal. So we do want better heat efficiency. And we did get a double heatsink from our random kit. But that still is a heat delta of, what is that, 16? That's a little more than I'd like. So I think we're going to drop a medium laser to add the double heatsink. So 25 less damage at 480 meters and less. But in exchange, we have a heat delta of 2. So I think swapping out the ER medium for a double heatsink is ideal here. Now, do we want to put the medium X pulse? I think we're going to put the medium X pulse in the center torso and the Guardian ECM over to the right side. So at this point, we have a shield sight. Even if the Proto Laser AMS gets crit, it's not destroyed because it's built in. It's guaranteed to be built in. Also we have fire control energy range, so that's cool. But we don't really have anything with a minimum range, so the primary benefit is not that great. But I mean, increasing our ER large laser by 15% and increasing the medium and the medium X pulse, that's good. I mean, 15% increase, it's pretty good. That the medium X pulse, that's going to be another 30 meters, so a hex or 2 extra of optimal range, which will help with our accuracy. So the Wolfhound is basically done at this point. It does have, pretty good damage for the early game. I mean, that's 45, 60, 70, 115. So 115 damage for one of our first mechs is actually respectable. Very, very respectable. Now that it has a heat delta of 2, we don't even have to worry about so much dropping in hot environments. So we're going to call that done.
Right.
And we're going to move on. So the Panther here The Panther has a PPC and an SRM4. I forgot to armor up the Dervish. I mean the Wolfhound. So it's gonna have semi-light armor. That's the payoff. I mean that's the price we're paying for the 115 damage early game. Luckily the enemies will be just as inaccurate as we are, theoretically. So it should be able to survive several missions before we have to worry about adding more armor. Let's see, Panther. Yeah, the Panther I think is going to be the last mech we work on. Now, the Shadowhawk, I'm wanting to consolidate. And I'm wanting to get this thing much more streamlined. So we're going to drop the SRM2. We're going to drop the LRM5. We're going to drop the jump jets. It does have a core 275, which gives it a 5-7 move sprint, which is respectable. If we wanted it to go a little bit slower to get a little bit more tonnage, since it's not running a light or XL engine, we can rip the 240 core out of the out of the Spider. And actually, let me just hover over it real quick. The 240 core is 14.5 tons versus the 275, which is 18.5 tons. So that's 4 tons of engine weight, and all the 240 would do is drop the Shadowhawk down to 4.6, I believe, move sprint. So if we need 4 extra tons, we can drop out the 275 core for the 240. So we can keep that in mind as we rebuild. We're just gonna rip everything out at the moment, and we're gonna see what we have to work with. The armoring up is good once you get to like the early mid-early game, but at the very beginning of a playthrough, you don't have to worry too much about armor values, because the mechs do tend to, you know, not get hit super often when you're against rookie pilots. Unless you're going into one skull or half skull clan missions, in which case, yes, you need armor. But against regular inner sphere factions and periphery factions, you don't really need to max out armor, especially on your medium mechs super early. So for the time being, until we get like Indo and Pharaoh and an engine upgrade and a gyro upgrade, we are limited on our tonnage. We've got 36.5 out of 55. So what I'm curious about... Wait, I thought we got a rotary autocannon. Didn't it say we got a rack 5? Or is that just ammo? Ah, it was just ammo. That's disappointing. So we got a double bin and a regular bin of rack 5 ammo, but we did not actually get a rack 5. So there goes my initial plan for this build. We have UAC 10 ammo. We have 1 bin of UAC 10 safe, which would be 3 Alpha Strikes. That's not usable. We would need more UAC 10 ammo before we could consider that usable. And it's 13 tons. There's no way we're going to be able to put it and other weapon systems in. So what are we going to do? We don't have streak ammo. Well then. So we have 1 energy, 1 ballistic. So we're going to put the AC-5 back. Because, I mean, it's like the only ballistic weapon we have ammo for. Yeah, we don't even have LB-10 ammo. So yeah, it is literally the only ballistic weapon we have ammo for. Okay. And maybe we... Let's see, AC-5 is minimum range 90, optimal 360, max 720. So we don't really want SRMs because SRM max range is the optimal range for AC5. LRMs have 90 more meters of long range or of minimum range, but they fit the range profile of the AC5 better. So max 720 and max 840. So we are going to drop in the LRM 15, which between the two of those, that is now 75, 120, right? Yeah, 120 damage. So we're trading out the SRM ammo, or the SRM, which is 20 damage, which we would really never want to get in range to use. Medium laser, which is 25 damage, and an LRM5, which is 25 damage, in exchange for 75 damage. Actually, we could even potentially keep the medium laser. What's our heat efficiency at? 2430? Yeah, so we're overcooling by 6. So we've just replaced the 25 damage of the LRM5 and the 20 damage. So 45 damage we've replaced with 75 damage. So 30 damage increase. Nice. In addition to that, we did get some nice LK ammo, which will make the LRM-15 have a +1 accuracy, which is really good early game. Bonus accuracy and evasion ignore early game really helps you get through missions faster. So with an LRM-15, that is 8 shots. And since we're going to be missing a lot, that's not nearly enough ammo. We could actually narc. So as long as one missile hits, we would be giving bonus accuracy to everyone in the lance. And making them easier to detect, which is going to be useful when we have low tactics. And it counters ECM in case they happen to have ECM. But I would much rather have that on a mech with that LRM5, because literally only one missile hitting does the same thing as all of the missiles hitting. So even if we hit with 15 missiles, that narc only matters for 1. So we're going to save that narc ammo until we figure out where we're putting the LRM5. However, thunder ammo is actually really interesting early game. So we are going to drop that in, and now we need half a ton. So we need half a ton. Oh yeah, AC5, a single bin is 20 shots, which is plenty. So that AC5 should never run dry. So we have significant damage. We have thunder to help take off the legs of, early game, especially light mechs that are going to have tons of evasion. This will just shred through their legs. So the idea is you drop a couple rounds worth of thunder on the enemies you don't intend to get close to, and then you just melt away the rest with LK. Now, we do have the shield arm. And our armor, since we don't have Pharaoh, is pretty heavy. But we definitely don't want to drop the side torso armor with the AC5 in it. The AC5 is a lot more valuable than the medium laser. So we're going to drop our medium laser arm down to 70 and our shield arm down to 50. Again, the only reason I'm doing this is because this is super early game, and we should be relatively safe from taking too much damage. Most of our enemies are going to have things like medium lasers, which do 25 damage each if they hit. Or, pulse lasers, or LRM 5s and 10s and things. Like, not a whole lot of damage is going to be coming at us, and even when it is, there's not a lot that's going to hit. I'm actually curious if the advanced zoom, the Mark 1 advanced zoom from the Wolfhound would be better on the Shadowhawk, since the Shadowhawk is going to be engaging at longer ranges than the Wolfhound wants to. Because the Wolfhound's going to want to get in closer with its lasers. I'll think about that. But for now, we got 7 days because of the armor adjustment and because of the weapons shifting. Alright, so now we go to the Dervish. the Dervish has a pair of LRM-10s, a pair of SRM-2s, and a pair of medium lasers. So, the 275 core again gives it respectable 5.7 movement. Now, the SRMs, if we drop both SRM-2s, we can put in the LRM-5. Which I think I'm going to do. Again, trying to get this thing more streamlined where it knows where it wants to go. And actually, I'm going to move the LRM-10s to the arms and put the LRM-5 in the side torso so that the LRM-10s get the bonus accuracy firing actual ammo, and the LRM-5 fires the narc ammo, which we, of course, are going to put in here as well. So now we've got the LRM-5 narking, and then the LRM-10's doing damage. And while we're early game, while we're super early game, most enemies are just going to have single heat sinks, which makes the +1 heat per missile when firing 20 missiles very strong. Because that's 20 heat, and if they're only sinking 30 per turn, because single heat sink kit, you only sink 30 per turn, that means that they're not going to be able to fire without overheating. So, do we want 6 shots of incendiary? Possibly instead of 6 shots of LRM. Because basic LRM ammo does 5 damage per missile. Incendiary LRM, I believe, does 4 damage per missile, and then 1 heat damage. So you're only trading 1 regular damage for 1 heat damage. So that would be, if we did that, that would be 6 shots of incendiary, 6 shots of standard LRM ammo. And then after those 12 rounds, again, we're going to be using the LRM-5 just with the narc ammo to keep the target painted so we have better accuracy. So doing that, we would have 6 shots per ton of ammo, which would make that 12 rounds before we run out. And then we'd be down to 2 medium lasers. So, didn't we have a ER medium, or did I use that? I could have sworn we had an ER medium sitting around. Oh, I'm looking at ammo. Silly me. Yeah. So we have an ER medium, which actually meshes better with the LRMs because it does have the longer range, max of 480 instead of max of 360. The problem there is the heat efficiency. However, if we drop the jump jets, which I'm not a fan of jump jets early in the game because your mech warriors with low piloting have a chance to fall down anytime they jump. So anytime you jump with a mech early game, when your mech warriors have like 3 or 4 piloting, there's the chance for them to fail the piloting check when they land and just fall down, which can really mess up your game plan and give the enemies an easy target. So until you get, I would say, around 4, well, at least 4, probably closer to 5 or 6 piloting, you don't really want to be jumping around a lot. So now we have 4 tons left, but we only have 2 heat sinks. And ideally, we would like to replace this medium laser with this ER medium laser, which generates an extra 6 heat, which would be 2 extra heat sinks. So, what we're looking for then is we would have 44 heat, which means we would need at least 12 heat sinking beyond what we have. So that's 4 heat sinks. So let's go see if the store has 2 heat sinks. Alright, and we see there's not a whole lot interesting. Unless they happen to have ammo for some of our weapons. Nope. Not at all. Alright, so there's heat sinks. Most shops, almost every store in the game has regular basic heat sinks. 230,000. Oof.
Available.
Now, I believe the spider does have a heat sink. Yeah, it has one heat sink, so we could have saved 115,000 by shelving the spider, but it's always good to have a spare mech around so you can just throw it in if you need to. Even if it is just a spider with a pair of medium lasers. Alright, so getting back to where we were. Jump jets out. Ammo in the legs. LRM5 in the side. LRM5 in the side torso. Replace the medium laser with an ER medium laser. Throw in extra heat sinks. Alright, so that brings us up to a heat delta of 2, which is excellent. Yeah, if we lose the ER medium, we don't really need the extra heat sinks anymore, so that's fine. The ammo, we did want to put in the narc. I really wish it was a half ton of narc. Oh, it is a half ton. Huh. So yeah, 60 shots, half ton of narc. Cool. And that, again, is 612. So I am going to still put in the incendiary instead of just the standard LRM ammo. And that is a build. Early game, that should be fine. Obviously, one of the first things we're looking for is either Indo or Pharaoh, so that we can then armor up. But for the first several missions of a playthrough, you're generally fine with low armor. Or, not low armor, but moderate armor. Like, a 50 armor arm can take 2 medium lasers without even losing any structure. So, this should be fine. For the early game missions. And since we are pretty much fielding just long-range weaponry, it will be fine for this mech to stay in the back, so the 20 back armor is actually completely okay. And we're already at 11 days, so we don't really want to do much else. But we will just stop there. We have a usable mech.
On it. I'll let you know when
And the Panther, last but not least, we have the Panther. Again, there's a mismatch between the PPC and the SRM4, but we don't have any more LRMs. And the only hard points it has are the missile and the energy and the support in the center torso. But we are going to drop all of the jump jets. Oh wow, actually he had a lot of heat sinks. We could have probably saved... We probably could have saved a lot of... what's it? A lot of money just going with grabbing heat sinks out of here. However, I'm thinking right now we have a cooling of 39. Is that enough to use the binary laser? Because keep in mind, we are dropping mines with our Shadowhawk. And if we're dropping mines, we don't want to shoot a PPC into it and destroy all the mines. The binary laser does not have that problem. And the binary laser, if it hits, can do up to 90 damage. It's anywhere between 60 and 90, which is enough to tear up a mech. And then, with our 35-ton mech and our 145 core, we have a movement of 4-6. So, we will be able to get close enough fairly quickly. So what would that look like? What exactly would that look like? We'd have 3 tons left. We'd have a heat delta of 9. Which is totally playable, actually. But then what do we do with the rest of the tonnage? SRM 6? Maybe? Nope, SRM 6 and the binary laser does not work. So I think I am just going to keep the PPC, upgrade the SRM 4 into an SRM 6, and SRM ammo. Do we have specialty? We do. Okay, dropping the regular SRM ammo for an LK and a tandem. So that's 6 shots per Alpha Strike. That gives us more than 20 Alpha Strikes. We are completely set with this Panther, although it is a little iffy. We would definitely want to rebuild this mech first in the playthrough. But for now, that is going to be that mech.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
And with all of that, we are going to wait for basically a month, which gives us time to look at navigation.
Hello, Commander. The Argo may not be.
And right now we are on a 3.5 skull planet. That is not going to work. So now we look around. There's a 1.5 skull planet, and I have damage variation on this as 2, so we can be 1 full skull above or below whatever the planet rating is. So this is a rich world. It's a mining world. Medium gravity planet, tropical. So that's a pretty good pick. This is agricultural moons, so some of the missions we drop on would be lunar. So I think we're just going to go for the rich tropical world and travel.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
So we are now building very slowly but surely. And I think we're actually going to stop for a second and look again at the Wolfhound. Because the advanced zoom gives +1 at ranged accuracy and negates no visual up to 540 meters. That means our ER large laser is the only one that benefits from it at max. So I think instead of piling up that extra accuracy on our Wolfhound, we're actually going to drop the advanced zoom. And actually, since he's armored up really well, I think we're actually also going to drop the IFF jammer. He's able to take a little bit of a beating, so we will actually go over to the Shadowhawk and give the Shadowhawk the advanced zoom. I think we're going to save the IFF jammer for our Dervish. So now our Shadowhawk hits a little harder.
Waypoint reached, Commander.
Alright, so we've arrived. Let's go check out the store. Ah, I should have checked the hiring hall before we left. The previous planet might have had a Mechwarrior or 2 that we wanted, but I forgot to check. AMS Flare Bolt-On is actually very valuable early game, so I'm actually going to buy that.
Available.
And we can actually buy some Bolt-Ons for very cheap.
New weapon systems.
And since we have nothing in our specialist slots, we're going to be able to use all of those. Other than that, there's an IFF Jammer Mark 1 for 230,000. I think I would rather actually save the ammo. Half a ton of Inferno SRM. No, I'm going to save my money on that one. So,
nice to see you down here in the hole.
Now that we have the bolt-ons, we know the Wolfhound, with its 710 movement, is going to be able to get in close really quick. So, we are definitely going to throw on some bolt-on rockets to give this thing a crazy alpha strike once it gets behind an enemy.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
And then once the I believe it's the Shadowhawk that is going to get the incendiary bolt on. Shadowhawk. And yeah, we're gonna give the incendiary bolt on to. No, it's not. It's not. It's well, we're gonna give the AMS flare to the Shadowhawk. Or are we? Let me think for a moment. Let me look at the other options. The Dervish. The Dervish, if I remember correctly, has relatively low armor for a medium mech. And is firing the incendiary. So we're going to put the bolt-on rockets and the AMS flare, actually. Well, no. That's right, we're putting the IFF jammer on him. Okay, yeah. We're going to put the incendiary rockets and the IFF jammer on the Dervish.
Logged and noted.
Then the AMS flare goes on the Shadowhawk. And that is how we're going to run them.
On it.
So we've got 7 days. We're going to pass over the financial report, which is only going to cost us $340,000, unless we find Mechwarriors in our barracks that we don't like. So actually, before I do this, I need to check and see if we have any vehicles. Indeed, we have a Scorpion. 25-ton, LRM-10s, or LRM-10 and an LRM-5. Okay. So we have a long-range vehicle. Noted. So we need one vehicle pilot. But we do not need a vehicle pilot that only has ones. Yeah. No. I'm sorry, Magpie. Goodbye. So that saves us $11,000 per financial report. And we have plenty that can pilot mechs and vehicles.
I'm here.
So, Face here has the Disgraced perk. So, +1 ECM shield and probe. We are probably going to put him in the Wolfhound.
Commander?
To give it a little bit more defense. Here we have Dependable, which is useful early game to prevent the panic from causing them to punch out. Honest is plus morale. Naive does nothing. Alright, then we have Kraken, who is military, assassin, Mechwarrior, brave. Yeah, we're keeping Kraken.
Waiting for orders.
Legion is reckless, excellent. So that's evasion ignore, very useful early game. As well as Comstar, so he's giving us mech tech and sight and sensors, and Mechwarrior and military. So, yes, Legion is definitely going to be one of our primary Mechwarriors. Although right now he has no experience to spend and is pretty bad. Osprey, our main character, the commander, is brave, Comstar, so plus half a mech tech and sight and sensors, and it's dependable, as well as technician, which is more mech tech. Obviously, I selected that so that we could get through the build faster. But since he is brave and dependable, and since he has pretty good starting stats, I'm going to give him +1 gunnery, +1 tactics. So he's going to be slightly more able to hit things.
Waiting for orders.
Sigurd has command experience, so Lance Resolve, cool. Mechwarrior, +1 initiative. Officer, sight and sensors. Military, minus recoil, and athletic, bonus health. So we're definitely keeping Sigurd around. And then Siegfried is Gladiator. Does Gladiator give accuracy or just damage? Just damage and stability on punch, kick, and physical melee. But he is lucky, command experience, athletic. I'm definitely using the command experience Mechwarriors early on because the resolve gain will get you to the 50 resolve faster. And 50 resolve gives you a bonus accuracy once you're inspired. So we are definitely going to use Siegfried. We are going to use Sigurd.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
We're going to use... Actually, I think Osprey might sit out for... Well, He's got the highest stats. So no, we're going to use Osprey. And then I think we're going to use Legion, because +1 evasion ignore is basically +2 accuracy. Especially early game when you've got a bunch of light mechs running around. So we're actually going to use just the last 4. Kraken is good. Assassin is really good once you start making called shots. But he would be more of a mid to late game Mechwarrior, so we'd want to get the simulator and throw him in that.
Orders?
HBFT is... I mean... bonus morale keeps our Mechwarriors from punching out, and right now we're at discouraged, so... might be good to keep him around. He's probably worth the extra 26,399. So almost 30,000 C-bills. That's like 10% of our financial report. Am I ever actually going to drop him in a mission? I don't think so. So I'm going to dismiss him as well. So that saves us 30,000 a month.
I hear you. Ready for orders.
And then Face... I was going to actually put Face in the Wolfhound.
Commander?
Would I rather have 3 gunnery, 3 tactics, or would I rather have the Reckless? Because the only reason we're talking about using Legion here is for the evasion ignore. Or would I rather have... oh, wait.
Good to go.
Yeah, we're definitely taking Face. Get to 4 gunnery, 4 tactics.
Orders?
I should actually be waiting to do this because this does increase... I believe it increases their salary. Let's go to one of the guys we're actually going to use.
What do you need?
I'm on the clock.
Waiting for orders.
Oh.
Receiving you.
Kraken's the last one we can upgrade, but, I mean...
Training complete.
do we go with stats or do we go with quirks? That's the question.
Go.
Because who cares about becoming inspired if our accuracy is starting higher to begin with? Because we can also get resolved by blowing up enemies. Although the +2 clustering would be nice on the LRMs. Okay. Rethinking things, I think I'm just going to go for the stats and... I think I would rather have Reckless than have 3 gunnery and the same tactics. So +1 gunnery versus Reckless, I'll take Reckless. So we're actually taking the first 4. Alright. Now that that's decided, we wait for the financial report.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
We see if the shop updated. There are more bolt-on incendiary rockets.
New weapon systems available.
Remote sensor missiles? Okay, so remote sensor missiles are basically mines that just sensor ping the enemies that step on them. They do pretty much no damage, but they increase the sensors on the target. So, if you have low tactics, they are pretty good, but yeah. There's another advanced zoom for 115,000. Do we want the advanced zoom? I think I'd rather have advanced optics, so I'll save the money. Heat banks are neat, but unnecessary early on because their enemies are not going to be throwing so many incendiary weapons at you. And we do not have ammo for the fun stuff that we have. So, going back into the mech bay.
Commander, be with you in a second.
The Panther has 2 specialist slots open. So, we have the bolt-on incendiary rockets. Do we put advanced zoom on him? This advanced zoom, even Mark 1, would actually increase his accuracy. And he does have pretty good damage. That's 110 damage. I think we will finish actually just building so we can drop on a mission.
Job's done, Commander.
So early game, you have to balance. You start with enough funds to go through several financial reports. You see we have 5 financial reports worth of money left. So you can look in the store and you can sometimes find some good stuff. But as long as your mech techs are so low, which is at 11 right now, you can also consider, at least for, the first month after the financial report, bumping it up to, extravagant spending or whatever it is, where you pay extra to get extra mech techs. Because that actually does help a lot early game. Do we want the advanced zoom? That's the question. No, I think we'll pass on it. We'll save the time of putting it in. But I do want those incendiary rockets. And to that end, I am going to move the IFF jammer again, probably back onto the Wolfhound. So now we've got 25 incendiary rockets. This thing will be able to alpha strike once and completely overheat a target. And the heat efficiency is not taking the incendiary rocket packs into account. But I believe they're 0 heat. So, yeah. 2 more days.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
And again, the Wolfhound has pretty good armor. 680 armor. Compared to the 520 on the Panther. So the less damage you take early game, the better. So even though I'm investing an extra day doing this, if it even saves us, 1 or 2 hits from a medium laser, that will offset repair time. So, last 3 days. Alright. Go to the hiring hall to check one last time. Or, not one last time, but to check once. To see if there's anyone that we absolutely want.
I'm here. Waiting on you, Commander.
And I'm not... Okay, he actually would have been good to pick up earlier for the +1 mech tech, which would have been about a 10% increase in our repairs or in our build speed. But, for now I'm fine without him. Alright, so that being done,
All mech techs to the mech lab. I repeat, all mech techs to the mech lab.
we jump on over to the command center, and I think we are going to look for... Recovery is good because you're usually only against 1 lance, maybe 2 if there's a secondary objective, which I don't believe there is in this one because you're rescuing or picking somebody up. So usually you're just picking the scientist up for that one. Or we could go with a simple battle. Assassinate is probably not the smartest thing to go for as our first mission because we haven't tested our mechs yet, so we don't really know how to play them or what they're capable of. So let's try this battle and see exactly. And early game, salvage, great. That 308,000 is already enough to pay for a financial report, so might as well go for the salvage. So let's see what our lance strength looks like. We have a half star. 1.5 skull battle is probably going to be too much for us. However, we should be able to do the 1 skull recovery decently, and that gives us 523. It does not give us enough to cover a financial report, but we're still sitting on 5 months worth of money. So we will once again drop in here, and what we're probably going to do for our strategy, since we have LRMs on the Scorpion, We have LRMs on the Shadowhawk, and we have LRMs on the Dervish. And then the PPC on the Panther, and the ER Large Laser on the Wolfhound. We have enough long range to try to kind of hang back and pick them apart at longer range before they close with us, and then use our short range weapons and our rockets and things. So, we are going to go face on the Wolfhound, because he has no quirks that decrease his accuracy or anything, but he does have the ECM shield and probe. So, he's going to be almost as accurate as everyone else, but also be less likely to be hit. So, our Wolfhound is, with its XL engine and its more valuable equipment, is going to be good to not have destroyed early on. Osprey is just kind of whatever, but he has 4-3, or 4-4 for gunnery and tactics, which makes him more interesting than the other options that have 3 gunnery. So, what do we want the evasion ignore on? So, we want it on one of the slower mechs. Or do we just... No, we don't want to waste the evasion ignore on a single SRM6 and a PPC. So, do we put it on our 225 Alpha Strike? Or do we put it on our 145 Alpha Strike, which has a weapon that either hits or misses instead of splash? I mean, that 2 gunnery, 2 tactics is gonna hurt. So I think we'll put Kraken on the Shadowhawk. Just in case they get knocked to the ground, the bonus called shot, 10% bonus called shot is going to help that autocannon land where we want it. Osprey. So this again goes back to, do I prefer 2 gunnery, 2 tactics, or do I prefer reckless? And I think I prefer 2 gunnery, 2 tactics. So Legion is going to be on the Panther. And now we have Sigurd and Siegfried. I believe Sigurd has the, officer plus 2.5% lance sight and sensors, so he's going to be the choice for the Scorpion, and away we go. Alright, here we go.
Command interface initiated.
We are dropping into the first mission of this start. So the main thing we're looking for whenever we drop is we have to know what range we're wanting to engage at. And again, since we have LRMs, a lot of LRMs, and since we have PVC, large laser, etc., long range is where we're going to want to be. So we're going to want to set up somewhere where we can eventually move down into the base, but at the same time have long range and high ground. So it looks like, unless I'm misreading the terrain, it looks like we'll be able to move through here. So I think we're going to drop in cover on this ridge. And obviously, if we had shorter range mechs, we'd want to drop somewhere where we could probably take the road to getting close.
An air conditioner.
Well,
and we have to keep in mind, this is a hot planet. And we do not have sensors, or, well, we don't have visuals on the enemy, and we don't have sensors for turn 1. So I'm going to move and brace
Got it.
for all of my mechs. And then see if we have an enemy on sensors once we... once the next round starts.
Affirmative.
Wolfhound can move for 2 in cover.
Position.
And our Scorpion, since it can't brace and reduce damage, is just going to Move to cover with sprint. Now we have enemy contact. Alright. So, as is common with the early game, our enemies are going first. That's an Urban Mech 2C. So there's some clan tech on the board. I wonder what's in the trash can. Okay, we got a large laser coming in from the right flank. There's an Owens, which does not seem to be doing anything.
I hear ya.
Alright, so our SRMs are not going to be super effective while we're at long range. However,
You betcha.
our PPC we want to get off before we drop mines. And it looks like the mech with the large laser seems to be the Urban Mech R8QB. But I think we're just going to go with hit chance here. And our hit chance is better on the Urban Mech 2C than anything else. That's interesting. But this is the point where I kind of want to be selfish, because I know that the enemy's accuracy is going to be just about as bad as ours. And since we have the high ground and we've got a 25%, that means they're probably going to be below 25%. So I will just try to take the Owens down. And I think we actually hit. Amazing. Fortunately, we don't have sensors to see how much structure it has, or how much armor it has left. But we can now move the Wolfhound over to this flank. Aha, there's also an Oss Scout. Probably just medium laser. It might be a large laser. Doubtful, but it might. So once again, we're firing at long range until they get closer, to just try to whittle them down, because if you're past optimal range with a weapon system, you have a massive penalty to hit. That usually late game... Whoa! AP Gauss Rifle battery? No, it was only 2, so that would be 2 AP Gauss Rifles.
Ready for orders.
No, it's a single ballistic weapon that fired twice with the AP Gauss Rifle effect. That might be a Hypervelocity 5? And if it is, I think we have one, but need ammo for it. Or it might be a Hypervelocity 2, actually. I think we need ammo for one of the Hypervelocities, so... yeah, we'll figure that out. I can move out of cover with the Shadowhawk, but again, their accuracy should be pretty abysmal, and we do have armor. So I'm going to do exactly that. I am going to activate the AMS flare so that if they do happen to have any missiles, that we can intercept them. And that's a respectable 42-49. And we did some damage to the Owens. So odds are we should be able to take the Owens down this turn. Unless, we stop being so accurate. I think since the only short-range weapon we really have is the medium laser and the bolt-ons, gonna shift around and continue focus firing.
Let's see if I'm sober enough to line this up.
Okay, I might be overestimating, thinking that we're going to be able to kill this turn. Our tank can only fire indirectly, which is fine, because this thing has pretty low, actually respectable armor for a 25-ton unit. Okay. Alright.
Affirmative.
And what kind of missile? Oh, right, we were going to drop mines. And it only has standard ammo. And a terrible hit chance.
This should be good.
Okay.
Targeting systems janky.
So, I forgot we had mines, otherwise I would have dropped them. Specifically, I would have dropped them on the Irby, the 2C Irby. Because whatever he has in him, He should have a Clan XL engine. Ah, they actually hit the large laser. Okay. 55 damage. I need to check my ER large.
Standing by.
So, our ER large is 45 damage. What is going on here? So that Oscout has a large laser that did 55 damage. Is that a Clan ER large? That's weird. In any case, we're gonna get a little bit closer with our Wolfhound.
Position confirmed.
And the Oscout also has stealth, it looks like. Wow, that is an interesting Oscout. Never thought I'd say that phrase. But I think we're going to stick with the plan for now and just focus fire the Owens.
Confirmed. Firing.
Just to try to get one mech off the board.
What can I do for you? Coordinates received.
We're going to slowly start making our way forward.
Got it.
Aw, missed. Okay. He's so close to being unsteady, but he's about to get his turn. So, yeah, here comes his turn, so now he's going to be able to stabilize. Knocking early game light mechs unsteady is very, very helpful. Because between your bad accuracy and their evasion, things are just rough. But I really need to drop thunders on that Irby to see what kind of craziness he has. Okay, Owens is running away. So here we go. Oh no, that's... okay. Standard, Narc. I should have been firing that. Oh, it doesn't really matter what the weapon order is. The Narc, any accuracy increases don't actually take effect until the next mech that targets the unit. But I am going to move for 2 evasion.
Alright, let's get down to it.
And... okay, so the Oscout is hot. And stealth, so my hit chances are less than ideal. The Irby, I have no information on. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it does. That is so interesting. And then again, I'm going to drop mines on the other Irby, the Irby 2C. So I am going to just fire on the Oscout. Alright, cool. Target acquired. So now the Oscout should be easier to hit for the rest of our units. Okay. Irby with 3 PPCs, or 1 PPC and 2 light PPCs, or something along those lines. That is interesting. Alright, and then we have Thunder LRMs here. So we are going to attempt... and we're actually going to offensive push. Because we want salvage. Or no, actually, I think... okay, so if we fire everything... which all we can fire right now is the AC-5 and the Thunder LRMs, we have no heat problems at all. It's so interesting. I want to know what's in it. And offensive push, whenever you're firing mines, it doesn't really matter if you're offensive pushing because you're probably going to miss anyway. Oh yeah, the Owens is open. Nice. But I am going to fire... if the AC-5 hits with its 4.7% chance, I want it to hit the leg.
Engaging with target.
And of course it missed. But there go our Thunder LRMs. So there's now a nice little minefield around the Irby 2C. Here he goes. And 11 mines exploded. Yeah, that's some kind of AP Gauss rifle. Or hypervelocity. I need to be careful with that, because that thing will actually open me up pretty good. But yeah, so that's probably about 15 damage to his legs. see, we got our Scorpion, which cannot get direct line of sight to the Owens. But they don't have direct line of sight to him, so I think he's just gonna chill and fire indirectly.
Let her rip.
Alright, so turn 20. Here's the Owens, probably. Yep, that's the Owens. I know I'm being very greedy for the RB2C. I would not be doing this if I didn't have mines. Because the only chance of us actually taking the legs off is the mines. Ooh. The Owens has some crazy laser shenanigans. Short range, but still.
Waiting on you, Commander. No sweat.
And as was the original plan, I'm going to try to focus fire the Owens.
Take this.
Alright, lost evasive. I don't know how. As far as I could tell, only like 2 missiles hit, but I'll take it. He's unsteady.
Ready for orders.
Now... Okay, Wolfhound can get 3 evasion, get right up in the Owen's face, and since the Wolfhound has no minimum range on anything, this is actually a good plan. And then this should be a kill. I mean, the Owens might even have like an XL engine or something. So... No, actually. It was not a kill.
I'm out of short-range missiles.
Interesting. Alright. Taking some damage on our medium mechs.
Dumb for having all the armor.
Standing by.
Alright, shift back over to this flank.
Aye, aye.
Once again, offensive pushing, so that if the AC-5 hits, it hits the leg.
Firing.
And it did not, but there's some more mines for the Irby.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Yeah, you can see the odds of actually getting offensive push hits right now is very slim, very low odds. I think I'm going to focus the other
make some
Irby.
bad decisions at high speed.
And again, he's hot too. It's just this Oscout with his stealth is so hard to hit. So would it be better to focus fire the Irby that we can hit more reliably, or to focus fire the Oscout? So we know that Oscout has one large laser that can do 55 damage. The Urban Mech has a couple PPCs that not only do damage but also scramble our sensors, making it harder for us to hit. So the Urban Mech is the higher priority compared to the large laser. Even though 2 or 3 hits from the large laser easily takes off a limb. Oof. Alright, Wolfhound needs to get out of there. He's getting too close to whatever that thing is carrying. And we are going to move our Scorpion forward to hopefully soak a little bit of damage. And also possibly get the kill on the Owens. Or at least, you know, some serious damage. There we go, that's a kill.
Tango down.
Alright, enemy turn. Here comes the Oscout. What are you doing, little guy? But yeah, I should not have pushed forward with the Wolfhound. I should have stuck to my strategy, stuck to the plan. Alright, missed with the ER large laser. Excellent. But I am really concerned about that Urban Mech 2C. But I am slowly taking his legs off.
Ready for orders. Heading out.
Alright. Rinse and repeat. Offensive push. RB2C. And
Locking on target.
still a miss, but more mines. So this time when he moves, he should stop at his tracks because it will open up and he'll take... The first time a mech takes internal structure damage from mines, they stop moving.
I hear ya.
So if he's facing away from me whenever he stops moving, then he will not be able to shoot me this turn. Huh. I think I am going to move for 2 evasion.
No need to tell me twice.
Keep my accuracy as high as possible. And continue whittling away at the Irby with the PPCs. Okay, we got him open. Okay, he's only firing 1 PPC because he's so hot. Oh, he's only open on the left arm. That's unfortunate. Now, I wish there was a way I could break line of sight to the RB2C. Is there? Yes, there is. So, this is obstructed line of sight, and this, since the line is gone, means that the Urban Mech 2C cannot see me from that position.
On it.
So, I am going to move forward, actually. Instead of getting him out of there, I'm just gonna, run forward haphazardly. And he is running hot. So, I've got 36 heat on the large laser, 20 heat on the medium X pulse, and 15 on the ER medium. So I'll drop the ER large.
Got it.
And miss with everything else. Excellent.
Nothing.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Alright, so now we have the Dervish, which I want to start drawing fire a little bit. He is almost open on the right torso, so I'm going to do a twist so that the left side is exposed. Even more of a twist, really, like that. And I'm going to try to narc... Yeah, I'm going to leave the Irby, since I don't have direct line of sight to him. I'm going to try to narc the Scout. And I'm actually going to drop the ER medium, just to save heat with such a bad hit chance. I'm going to drop the medium as well, so I actually sink some heat. Just the splash. And unfortunately, the narc did not hit, so his stealth is not being countered in the least. Alright, so that's the RB2C firing some more. And his legs are not open. Why are his legs not open? Okay, they are breaking line of sight with my men on the high ground. So now is the point where I really have no choice but to start going in. Again, hopefully the Scorpion will draw some fire. But at least now I'm hitting the PPC Urban Mech from the side that has the major weapons. So there's no spot where I can shoot the Urban Mech with the PPCs that doesn't open me up to the RB2C. Okay, if I sprint there, I only have line of sight of the Scout.
Got it.
I don't have cover, but only the Scouts can see my Wolfhound. And I will drop the ER medium since it has the lowest hit chance. Alright. It's a hit. Structure exposed. Ah. Hyper Assault 20? Clan Hyper Assault 20 Gauss Rifle. That's what that is.
Oh, Commander.
Okay.
I'm losing weapon systems.
Well, at least there's that.
Leaving you.
Yeah, that Hyper Assault 20 is dangerous. I should not be messing around trying to salvage it. I should just be laying into this thing as hard as I can. But I also want the Clan XL engine. So am I willing to risk losing a mech for an early game Clan XL engine? I think the answer is actually yes.
Let's move.
I think I'm willing to lose a mech early game if it means getting a Clan XL.
Roger.
Still messing with the AC5. Still dropping thunder.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Yeah, I need this PPC gone. Or do I try to shut down the stealth mech to make it easier to hit? Not with those hit chances. I mean, I think I just go center and make sure he stays hot.
Well, who needed salvage anyways?
An arc attach
This arm
times
is empty,
10.
so it's time to do karate.
Alright. And yeah, his legs opened with the first mine, so he stopped moving.
Waiting for orders.
Which means he has no evasion, but that doesn't really help me. I'm just gonna move and brace with the Panther, I think. Well, yeah. Move and brace.
Good to go.
Again, trying to get the vehicle in there. And again, focusing center torso just to try to get this thing off the board. Double heatsink kit.
How'd that taste?
Yeah, those are some pretty good herbies. Now, mind you, obviously, you could have gone for half skull missions. That would have been much safer. But part of the fun of Mech Lab Monday is pushing the limits. And I could have definitely played this a lot better, instead of just trying to use mines to take down the very dangerous Hyper Assault 20. I mean, that's actually an almost 60% melee chance. Ah, but it's a charge. Okay. I was gonna say, if I can shoot as well. No. Can I get... Yes, I can get 2 cover and shoot the Irby. So this should be a kill on the Irby. Should. 5 damage. So I'm going to save the heat.
Aye, aye.
And there's Irby down. Okay.
Hostile removed. Receiving you.
Also, using thunder mine or using mines on an Irby is kind of not great because they don't move a lot per turn. If I had instead been using the mines against the little stealth mech,
Heading out.
things would have been a little bit different. Because he actually moves a lot each turn instead of the Irby. So, maybe we take the leg off?
Firing.
Nope. Well, have some more thunder. Hopefully it works.
Good Good to go.
Alright, 2 evasion's all I can get. Drop stability. Shoot the Oz Scout with the SRMs.
Tell me what to do.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Again, I want to have my left side towards the Hypersalt Gauss. But I also want 2 evasion. Can I get 2 evasion with my left side? Yes.
Let's make some bad decisions.
Now, I am kind of lining up for some stray shots to happen. Wow, okay. I could hotload. If I hotloaded, there would be a chance that they'd be damaged, possibly destroyed. So I'm actually just going to take the chance to drop my LRMs, except for the Narc. That's not much heat, and even if one hits, we got the effect that we want. Alright, stealth armor destroyed.
Who needed salvage anyways?
So, I'm pretty sure that was just in one of the extremities. But that should make it less effective, I believe. Okay. At least the Irby is also spreading the love around, instead of just focusing one mech until he crits it out.
For orders.
Alright, Scorpion pulling back so that he can fire and possibly do some work. Not really.
Badass.
Ready for orders.
Okay, I cannot get a side shot on him, but I will continue the strategy for now until it completely fails, which it very well may. I mean, I do still have 3 shots left of the Thunder LRM, so I can just continuously put mines underneath him at all times. Oh yeah, his legs are almost gone.
Got it.
Almost gone. He's running standard heat
Taking a
sinks,
critical
though.
hit.
If he's running standard heat sinks, he probably also does not have a Clan XL. So here goes one of his legs. Give it a moment. Yep. Alright, fall damage did not go to his leg. But his other leg has pretty much
On
nothing.
the clock. What do you want?
So the Dervish... I really want the Dervish's Narc. I want the Dervish's Narc to be on the Stealth Mech. And I don't know why there's X's there. Why are there X's there? That's weird. Alright, trying to Narc the Stealth Mech again. Any luck?
LRM ammo is depleted. Guess I'll
Nope.
have to act.
Standing by.
Okay, so
On
if
it.
either laser hits the leg. If either laser hits the leg, we got ourselves a Irby 2C with all of its goodies spilled across the battlefield. And there's basically no chance of killing it even if we miss the leg. So, we missed the leg.
Commander?
I just need one SRM. One SRM to hit the
Double
leg.
time.
Can we get one SRM to hit the leg? Both legs destroyed. Awesome.
That's a kill.
So this may have been worth it. It may not have. It depends on what's in the Irby still intact. If there's something good in there, it's totally worth losing half of a Panther. This thing, on the other hand, is taking us way too long to kill because stealth is oppressive early game. Alright. As long as he keeps missing that laser, we are golden. We're also going to have to keep in mind where we dropped our mines and run around them once we kill him to go capture the point.
Aye, aye.
Alright, flipping over to the LK ammo. That's a hit chance.
Aye, aye.
I mean, we hit some missiles.
Standing by.
And we get clear line of sight there.
Confirmed.
Okay. And he has no missiles. Oh, we can't use it as a laser. Okay.
Engaging with target.
Oof. The early game struggle is real.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
I really prefer to hit him from the front, so I'm going to do exactly that. But not that close. Yeah, that works.
Alright, let's get down to it.
And because of the Dervish's quirk, we're able to actually shoot 30% further, or 30% beyond the arc. So again, still firing the Narc with the LRM-5. And I think we're going to stick with Incendiary and the LRM-10s. Which should keep him from firing his large laser too much.
Well, who needed salvage anyways?
Good to go.
I mean, the Panther is kinda just gonna go capture the point. Unless he gets shot in the back. Can I get unobstructed? Yes, I can.
Moving out.
Alright, and fire.
Got
Receiving you.
Alright. I can either shoot past my mechs, or I can reserve. And I believe I will reserve. Oh wait, Face is able to move right now. Okay.
Roger.
Get into a good position. And fire with everything.
Locking on target.
Nope, still not going down.
Standing by.
I am really curious if that is a clan ER. So I'm trying to think why an ER large laser would do 55 damage. And the only thing I can think of, literally the only thing I can think of, is, oh, it must be clan ER large.
Let's get down to it.
But why the Aurigan Coalition had clan tech on a one skull mission is beyond me. Yeah, let's do that. Finally narked him. Awesome.
Well, who needed salvage anyways?
Commander?
I mean, Andy's panicked, so maybe I just keep pelting him.
Right, Commander.
I mean, if he punches out, we definitely get to see what that weapon is.
Critical hit, Commander. Receiving you.
Panic level critical. Stand and shoot.
Yeah.
Alright, lost evasive. So now, there goes side torso.
Scored a critical hit.
Still panicked.
Standing by.
Yeah, I'll go with the overheat.
Hit him hard.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Mech destroyed. Watch those heat levels.
Alright, so brace.
That'll do for now.
And again, avoiding mines.
Receiving you. Commander. Affirmative. Aye, aye.
So I don't exactly remember where I dropped those mines. So
Managing heat.
since I have terrible sensors, I don't
Got it.
have a way of finding out where the mines are, short of just running over them. So maybe I go the safe way around.
Right, Commander.
Roger that. Digging in.
Alright,
That'll do for now.
so there should be no mines. Alright, excellent, no mines exploded.
Venting heat.
We have the asset, Commander.
Okay. Alright, so we got 62,000 after drop costs, but you have to keep in mind that Panther that we lost the arm to, it has standard armor, standard structure. There's no engine in the side torso, so it should actually be quite cheap to put a new side torso on. So all we really lost was a PPC. Oh, and 3 heat sinks. Why did I have the... Oh, right. I had heat sinks everywhere on that thing. Alright, so... hopefully we get a couple heat sinks from this mission, but otherwise we just build it with stuff that doesn't need the heat sinks, I guess. We'll figure that out later, though. Everyone got some good experience, and we move on to the picks. I could get an entire Irby 2C. Or I could just grab a Clan Hyper Assault Cost 20. Like, yes, it weighs 10 tons, but yeah, it's 100 damage, and more importantly, it's, I believe, 20 projectiles, so that's 20 individual chances to crit, which makes it very interesting. We do have Clan Cockpit, so that would just be an immediate upgrade of 1 gunnery. But what I'm really looking for... Okay, that's a free 2 gunnery upgrade, period. We have a lot of double heat sinks. And we did not get... That's 2 upper recoil pluses. Wow. Okay. But we did not get a Clan XL. That's the main thing I was hunting for by taking the legs off the Irby. I was trying to get a Clan XL. I don't even know for sure if it has a Clan XL, actually. Yeah, it might just not have a Clan XL. But we did get Gunnery A and B. We got 2 upper recoil pluses. And I think I'm going to take Guardian ECM. Because there's no double heat sink kit. So the double heat sinks actually won't matter right now. If we get a bunch of double heat sinks, we can't use them until we get a kit. Also, was that large laser... I don't know what that large laser was. Oh, wait, no. Because it was definitely a large laser. So yeah, we must have destroyed it whenever we took down the Oscout. Does it say? Yeah, Clan ER large laser. Wow. That's nutty. And it had Indo composite? Oof. I think we would have gotten better loot dropping that thing instead of legging that thing instead of legging the urban mech. Like, I should have known the first time that large laser hit and it was 55 damage. That should have been my priority, because that means clan tech. And that was a fast little mech with stealth. And mines are amazing against fast light mechs with stealth. It tears them up so fast, and you don't have to worry about the horrible hit chance. But then I might not have gotten the gunnery support A and B and the upper recoils, so I'm quite happy with that. So is there ammo for the Hyper Assault Gauss? Yes, there is. I'm gonna take the immediate upgrade, though. The Sensor Sentinel will give us so much. The counters ECM stealth by 2 will help a ton if we run into another stealth mech. The bonus of 2 to sensor detection just helps against everything. And if we're within 210 meters, the enemies receive a 1 sensor ping, increased visibility and signature, and allies receive 5% and 3%. 5% sensors, 3% sight. So this is going to make everyone more accurate and help us if we run into future stealth mechs. So, now that we've got that, was our random salvage. Oscout part, Owens part, Irby part. We got the ERPPC, interesting. We got a Clan Flamer, okay. Got a light PPC, that's interesting. We got the Clan Cockpit, so the Clan Cockpit, Gunnery A and B are all three going to go into one of our medium mechs, and we're going to literally be giving our Mechwarrior in that mech 3 Gunnery, which is going to be amazing, an amazing increase. Got the Artemis 2, which, okay, we'll put that on our missile mech. Yeah, 2 heat sinks out of the 3 we lost. 11 standard jump jets. That's 43,000. Also, this is a good point to mention that I have basically all of the settings as default, except for starting as Aurigan. The sniper sensors are good. They're defensive sensors, so we could put that on one of our longer range mechs. Clan sensors, just an upgrade. Basic sensors and single heat sink cooling we could sell. We also got a slick sweep, so increase of +1 piloting, +1 tactics. Standard fusion engine, standard structure. So that was quite a haul. Alright, so we have a 133,000 C-bill cost and 17 days. And pretty much all of that is... Well, no, actually, it's spread pretty... That's right. We only have 11 mech techs. That's why it's so long. In any case, we will go ahead and repair. And normally I would also be dropping on an additional mission or 2 before I rework the mechs, but we're just going to do one last little jump into the mech bay and adjust around the builds based on what we got. So,
Nice to see you down
with the mech bay, we obviously need to rebuild the Panther. And we have basically 2 options. We can either go with an ERPPC, which has, the same weight, does 5 more damage, but generates how much more heat? 15 more heat. That's really not an option. Or we could go with the light PPC, in which case we have no more weapon slots. So if we do that, we are going to basically be maxing armor and doing nothing else. Even then, we still have tonnage left over. That's one of the problems with Panthers, is it really only works if you put a heavy weapon, a heavy energy weapon on the right arm. So what if we put the ERPPC on, but we drop the SRM? And then if we were to add nothing but heat sinks. We got 2. we'd be able to put 6 more. So then we would be overcooling quite a bit. But the ERPPC would be an upgrade to the PPC. Ideally, we would drop in another mission and get LRMs before this thing actually got rebuilt. So that would probably be what I go for, is LRM 10 or 15. Maybe even a 5. But an LRM with an ERPPC makes much more sense than a PPC and SRMs. The Shadowhawk does not need the clustering, but it has the autocannon. So the autocannon is hit or miss 45 damage. The Dervish is medium lasers that are hit or miss for 25 damage each. So the Shadowhawk needs the gunnery more, basically. But it has less damage output, so it's really a toss-up, but I'm just gonna, as an example, throw the... does the autocannon have recoil? No, it does not. Okay. Throw the clan cockpit, the gunnery B, and the gunnery A into the Shadowhawk, along with, I believe, the Slick Suite is a cockpit, but some Sensor Clan. Where do I go Sensor Sentinel? It's 3 tons, but... No, I think I like the build, so I'm just going to drop the clan sensors in here.
Logged and noted.
Although I did also have the Guardian ECM I could put into it. The Dervish is going to put in the... Where is it? Not the Sensor Sentinel. The Artemis 2 fire control system. The Slick Suite, because the increased tactics will actually increase the accuracy of the mech. And the Sniper Sensor for a little bit more defense, as well as better sensor detection. So I could also potentially move some stuff around, like drop a medium laser or whatever, to put in the Guardian ECM, but for now I'm just going to leave it as is.
Right. I'll get it.
And the Wolfhound. The Wolfhound is going to, I think I'm going to replace the ER Large. Because, again, this thing has some crazy movement. 710. So we can get in close very easily. But then again, the ER Large... I was going to say replace it with the light PPC and the medium laser. But no, actually, the build is fine. The only reason it was running so hot was because of the environment we were in. So, do we want to give it the Sensor Sentinel? I would actually like to drop the Proto AMS because that thing takes up 2.5 tons. No, I think that's about it. So once again, like, as we were letting the Panther be rebuilt, we would have definitely, if this was a normal playthrough, dropped in one more mission, looked for something like an LRM for the Panther, looked for some Pharaoh or, Endosteel, because the more tonnage you can get, the faster early game, the more quickly you can upgrade like sensors, give Guardian ECMs, etc., etc. In any case, that concludes today's Mech Lab Monday. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I hope you maybe learned from this in some way. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.